Hello everybody, we are here with your Fafnir support guide. So we're going to be starting off our Fafnir with the Sentinel's Gift. The Sentinel's Gift right now, just so strong, especially if you're not 100% confident that you're going to win the lane. Then we're going to be grabbing ourselves our Magic Shell. I am going to look at their composition: 1, 2, 3 physicals, double magicals. I'm actually going to get my tier 1 going into Sovereignty, a Chalice of Healing, and a multi-pot. So you can start with boots. Some people like the tier 2 boot start. I find that that's a little bit greedy, even for Fafnir. Sometimes people want to go into the Thebes. You can do that as well, but for this game, I want to get it going early, so I'm going to get right into a early game Sovereignty. You can also make that the tier 1 going into Thebes is a pretty popular support start right now. Got to be starting off with our 1. This is our main ability, and is going to be the one that we are also leveling up to max of first. This is going to be a line-based ability, and if you smack a god, it is going to do a good bit of damage and stun them, setting up your hunter. So we are a Fafnir Scotty versus a Khepri Anhur, it looks like. So they should win in the clear department. So we got to be a little bit careful. I'm just trying to hammer the creeps and the Anhur preferably to prevent him from auto-attacking my Scotty. Now, we actually did get the 2 first, which is nice, so my Scotty's gonna be able to push up. I'm not gonna get that level 2 for a minute. My goal is still just to kind of throw a hammer through those creeps and hit somebody else with it. Khepri walks in front, body blocks it, but it's gonna allow us to keep getting this lane pressure. At level 2, we are going to grab our 3. This is probably the only point we're going to get in this ability till the very end. When you're playing Fafnir more aggressive, like a jungle Fafnir for funsies, you can actually rank this up second. But we're going to be ranking it up last. But we do grab a quick point in it because it is our movement ability, and it is also a disarm. So if I jump onto the Anhur right there, it is going to disarm him for a little bit so he can't auto-attack the wave. So this is actually quite nice for trying to make the for trying to win the lane clear, because you can actually jump in aggressively and stop the enemy ADC from auto attacking. Now obviously you got to be careful though, using your movement ability aggressively like that. It can be quite scary. So I'm continually throwing my hammer through the wave and also hitting an enemy god. Gonna jump onto the Anhur, so he's stunned a little bit, he gets disarmed a little bit. It is really annoying to lane against Fafnir because he can keep you very much CC'd. Remember now that they have changed these scorpions, so you want to kill this scorpion right away, and then it's going to give you this nice pulsating heal area for the team that killed it. Once again, throwing my hammer right on through. Gonna go disarm and prevent them from auto-attacking, so we keep this lane pressure up. At level 3, I grabbed another point in my 1, and at level 4, we're going to get our 2. Our level order on Fafnir is going to be 4, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to get that ultimate whenever we can. This is going to increase the duration of your dragon, which is very important. Longer that dragon lasts, more abilities you get to use in that dragon form, where it just basically makes your abilities that much better. Gonna walk right back here at the Anhur, make sure he is stunned, because I see Khepri's going in pretty hard. Gonna try to dash in here to disarm the Anhur, but I'm not gonna land it. So we gotta kind of chillax here. Scotty didn't do a super good job utilizing the heals that we were getting for herself. She could actually be at quite a bit more HP right now, but that's all right. My 2 on Fafnir is gonna be a small heal for myself, but more importantly, it's gonna be a damage buff and attack speed buff for my target that I pick, which is usually gonna be my hunter or my mid laner. That would be preferential because it gives that attack speed. You would like to see it on a character that actually utilizes auto attack, so a lot of the time it's gotta be on the hunter, particularly when we're doing objectives like towers or the Gold Fury or something. I am waiting until I get my full boots. Once I can back up and get my full boots, that's around the time-ish that I'm leaving lane right now. Now, you can't have a specific time that you're just always leaving lane or not leaving lane, because Season 8 as support, you really have to be on your toes and just keep your eyes out on what lanes need your help. Maybe you're crushing the duo lane, maybe you're getting wrecked, so you're not going to be able to finish a real item first. You've just got to be able to make that decision on the fly. Now, the one thing you don't want to do is miss out on any farm. So you got to make sure that you're sticking around. I see Fafnir is coming in. He doesn't land the jump, but he should be able to. Nope, not going to be able to ulti the Khepri either. Looks like he's going to basically get a whiff on that one, so I'm going to back it up. I'm going to go into my Shoes of Focus and a couple of wards. I like the more aggressive playstyle on Fafnir. You can get tank boots here. Reinforced shoes work on everybody support-wise, but I am more of a Shoes of Focus support player. I like the extra CDR and mana, so I can stick around and go for some more aggressive plays. Now that I've finished my boots, I've got a lot more ability to just kind of rotate around the map, and so I'm going to go ahead and use that newfound movement speed to make sure somebody gets credit for this mid wave. Our Tiamat was dead, wasn't going to be able to make it to mid in time, so I'm going to make sure that somebody is getting all of this gold, and I'm going to throw out some deep wards at top left and top right. This way I get good vision around the mid lane, and obviously my Tiamat needs a little bit of help. So we're gonna make sure that he has it. Gonna stick around Tiamat just in case he ends up needing the shell. Doesn't look like he's gonna need to. I'm gonna pop my 2 on myself. Keeping my eyes out on the Scylla. Doesn't look like I'm gonna be able to get anything off of this. That 2 does give you bonus damage on your abilities as well. So if you feel like you're gonna be able to get in range of a kill, oftentimes you can throw it down on yourself for that little bit of bonus. Try to grab that kill. Your standard combination here on Fafnir is going to be one of 2 things. You're either trying to close the distance. I'm going to try to sit by my man and wait for a shell and hammer stun if he needs it for the Loki, but he went for me, so we're going to be okay. Your standard combination is going to be closing the gap with your 3 and then following up with the hammer stun. Or if you don't need to close the gap, it is just going to be your hammer stun into your ultimate. So it's either 3-1 ulti or just 1 ulti, depending on how much actual distance you need to close against your opponents. I'm gonna jump in on this just to get closer to my guy in case I need to hit him with that shell. It looks like he's gonna be okay. Loki was taking a gander near our red buff, so I'm gonna walk over here. I actually do see him over here. I'm glad that I came this way. Their whole team is on their way over. I don't want to give up our red buff for free, so I'm going to sit around. But our Tiamat does have to be super careful. I'm going to throw him the shell. I don't even think it's going to matter. Going to be able to stun the Loki and get him off the red. And now I'm going to ulti right here. Loki is forced to beat. That is the Khepri ult down. I'm going to throw down some bonus damage onto my Fafnir back there. Loki comes all the way back over here. That's a Khepri shell, and we're not going to be able to grab the kill. Unfortunately, they still had all of their actives up, and then we're going to deform. The one thing that you should know about the Fafnir dragon form, your 1 is still basically the same ability. It goes from a burst damage stun to a damage over time stun that just does more damage. Your 2 is basically the exact same ability. It just goes from providing bonus damage to a target to everybody in an area. And then your 3 actually has the most significant change. Your 3 goes from that movement ability that's a disarm to a movement ability that is a stun. So you actually have 2 stuns while in that dragon form. And that is the most significant change for those abilities. Another thing that you should know is that you're actually immune to damage when you're transforming into the dragon. So you have a giant immunity frame when you're becoming into a dragon, not when you're coming out of the dragon form, okay? So when you're becoming a dragon, you get a giant immunity frame. So like if you were about to get Krakened or something, you can literally just Fafnir ulti and take no damage while you're transferring into a dragon. You cannot deform and get that same benefit, because that would be busted. Not really going to be able to peel that much for my guy, but that's actually a really good Fenrir ulti. So I'm going to try to follow up here with the stun, but we're not going to be able to get anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump out because we can back up and get a sovereignty. Gonna grab this sovereignty and get myself a sentry ward, saving that point at level 8 as we always do, so we can level up our 1 and our 4 at level 9, and then we're gonna start leveling up our 2, which is gonna increase the amount of attack speed and bonus damage it gives out, as well as the self-heal. That self-heal not quite as important as the rest of it though. I'll go over here and start tanking this for my Tiamat.
My fury is relentless.
There you go, bud. Now I'm gonna start buying sentry wards on my back because I've gotten the Chalice of Healing. I do not have the ability to pick up regular wards and sentry wards, so I basically just have to use my sentry wards. Just gotta use my sentry wards. If there's ever a wave around that your laner isn't going to get credit for, and make sure you're taking it as a support. So like he would have missed that wave because he was too far back and it would have died to the tower. You might as well just take the wave so that way somebody is getting the credit for it. Don't be afraid to take some waves as a support. You're gonna fall quite far behind if you don't actually. Gonna get a nice stun right there on the Scylla, disarming the Loki so he can't get those autos off. Capriole gets Forest right there, and that is a very good trade for us. Keep popping my Chalices of Healing, and now I'm gonna look towards whoever Fafnir is going for. For our matchups on Fafnir, Fafnir is a very aggressive support. He's one of my personal favorites right now. I would put him up near the top. He provides a lot of assistance to the team in CC while also having a good amount of damage, actually. So I would put him up in the top meta tiers right now, along with the Emirs and Ares and other aggressive supports of the world like Sobek. They're all doing very well right now. So for your matchups in the laning phase, what you're good against is you're good against anybody that is going to rely on a very big damaging ult, because you can completely avoid that and immunity frame it, or you can just do what I just did right there and just jump over the ability. I'm gonna throw down my ulti, try to peel for my man right here. He's gonna go down anyway, but I know that Kepri doesn't have his ulti up, so I'm actually just gonna do some double damage on the Scylla, and he's gonna go down to the bleed, throw down my shell, and give some bonus damage out to my Ymir, who's about to use it on his Splody. I'm in this form for another 10 seconds, so I don't actually mind chasing right now, except for what I really want to do is go back for the Loki. So I'm going to try to hit him randomly in stealth. I am going to be able to do that, and I'm going to get a lot of damage down on him, and we're going to be able to grab that kill. Had a vague idea of knowing where he was landing, so I dropped right down on top of him as he was trying to run back to the tower. Tiamat's not going to make it over here to the lane, so once they get it, I'm going to take this wave. I should mention as well, when you're deforming in Fafnir ult, you are CC immune, so you've got that going for you. Not damage immune, but you can't be CC'd while you're in that little animation. So an Anhur, I actually don't mind going against as Fafnir, because you can, if he like ultis, you can just go ahead and ulti him right back, and you just avoid his whole ulti, whether it's Scylla, Poseidon, Ra, whatever. I like all of those big damaging characters. I really like going against on Fafnir, because if you use the ulti correctly, you can avoid it. Also, anybody that does not have a anybody that has a leap, I also like Fafnir against. A lot of supports tend to struggle against gods with leaps, right? Ymir, you can jump over his wall. Kepri, he can't really get over walls. There's not a lot of supports that have the ability to kind of chase down for the team. Fafnir does, because Fafnir can jump right over the wall. He can then follow up with the stun, which is not only going to stun them, but it's also going to give them that nice little slow. So he has a lot of abilities to do that, or I use it like this to jump over and try to save my teammate. I'm going to throw down the Heavenly Agility and try to stun this man right when it's done. Looks like our Scotty is going to go down. I'm using my ultimate to transform, get that damage on him since I know it's down. Trying to find the Loki in stealth with my breath so I can hopefully follow up with a stun and maybe be able to peel for my Fafnir right there enough to keep him alive. So I'm not going to run towards my Fafnir because I don't want to get him killed. And I'm going to stay in my dragon form for now to get out another wave of my one. Going to use my jump to get a little bit closer to mid lane, and then I'm going to D4. You can D4 manually by pressing your ultimate again. For my third item, I have gone into a Talisman of Energy. Talisman of Energy, just generically one of the better items in the game right now from its aura that you're going to be getting. It's actually technically a passive. But that increased movement speed and attack speed is really strong for your team. And if you throw that on top of the increased power and attack speed that you're giving from Fafnir 2, these can stack up really, really nicely. Now, this could also stack really well with a war flag. If you do decide to go that path, I would only go war flag right now if you're confident in your lane partner. Maybe you duo queue together or something like that. Because if you do go war flag and you get behind early, it is really hard to come back as a support, particularly in the gold department, because that Sentinels is giving you that extra bonus gold. It really helps you get your items online and move into other auras and stuff like that. So right now, Sentinels just has a very nice math advantage over the other starters. But you can go the war flag and try to snowball your team out of control. And then in the late game team fights, if you make it there, it is really, really good. Just gotta go ahead and stun this guy for my Tiamat so we can get the full one blast off to the face. Now, I don't want to focus too much on magical defenses this game. I do mostly want to focus on physical defenses against this squad. That Talisman of Energy is going to give me so much HP and so much magical defenses. There are some enemies incoming right now. I've got to be very careful. I'm trying to sit around for when this Fafnir gets here so I can peel for whoever's going to need it. But it looks like our Fafnir is way on their back armies. He's too far away for me to peel for. Need to start placing some wards out near the Gold Fury and such. Fafnir just went for the gank over mid, so I'm gonna see if I can go back to him and get a little gank off with the Scotty. He is actually backing right now. Scotty's not gonna move up anyway, so I'm not gonna bother going over there. As a support, if you call for something and your team isn't interested in it, then don't bother following up on it, you know? Gonna try to jump in, stun off the Capri, see if I can't keep my Tiamat alive. If you make a call and somebody doesn't seem like they're very interested in that, then you just go back to farming. So right now I've actually got about a level, 2 level lead on the Capri, and that's just from sitting here at mid and mostly getting these waves where the Tiamat wasn't gonna be able to get credit for them anyway.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy.
So I'm going to back up, go get a sentry ward. I'm going to throw it out near the Gold Fury. I'm going to make sure that I'm grabbing these wards on every single back. And we're going to continue with our physical defenses. So I'm going to get a Witchblade. Witchblade is one of my secret, probably most underrated items in the game right now. It is very cheap. It gives you HP, physical protections, cooldown, and movement speed, and it reduces enemies' attack speed by 25%. So that's going to actually help a lot with the Fafnir and the Loki this game. Gonna try to get over to my man. I'm gonna throw him down a shell just in case they try to follow up on him. Thought Basila was gonna turn on him with the Capri, but it looks like she was too scared, so she was just running right on away. Gonna make myself over towards the Gold Fury to throw down that ward, and then I want to start rotating around now with the Fafnir when at all possible, so we can get some double ganks off. A little Fafnir gank, a little Fafnir gank. We'll have a lot of CC and try to get some kills. So I'm gonna start to make it a point to rotate around with him. Also, with Fafnir's too, if I'm not even anywhere near this wave, when he clears the wave with my 2 on him, I actually get credit for that wave. So it's a good way to get credit on Fafnir for waves in XP without actually necessarily needing to be right by them. Gonna try to stun this guy right here. I'm just trying to keep the Loki off of my boy. Still is dashing in, so I'm gonna dash in him for the stun. Trying to peel as much as I humanly can, but we're not gonna be able to keep him alive. Scylla's got that ulti on her, so I'm just gonna be able to chase away this Capri. My Fafnir should be able to finish that kill without me. And at least we can make this a 1-for-1 trade. So right now, I would say in my support build, Sovereignty, Talisman, and Witchblade are pretty stable. If you already have a Thebes, if you wanted to go the Thebes first in this build, that's fine. The rest of the build still checks out. A couple of exceptions to the rule would most importantly be anti-heal. If I needed like a Pestilence or a Contagion this game, then obviously you have to go ahead and grab that and take out one of your items. The item that I usually end up taking out is going to be either the Sovereignty or the Witchblade. One of those usually ends up having to go, which means it usually ends up being Contagion. Most of the time, teams are going to be rocking 3 or 4 physical characters and not that many magical characters. So I'm going to grab my Witchblade and I'm going to rank up my Shell. Gonna grab myself a couple of regular wards this time. Looks like they've got a sentry over on the Gold Fury, so I'm gonna try to get vision around the objectives instead of directly on the objective right now. And because I can rank up my Sentinels at level 17, I'm going to chill out and not upgrade any more items until I get that level 17. I'm gonna try to stun right here through the wall. I'm gonna land it right onto the Scylla, which isn't gonna matter. But I did try to stop that damage for a little bit. My ultimate's not up for 3 seconds, so I'm just going to try to use this extra Witchblade movement speed. Slow him down. Loki just used his bead, so I'm going to follow up right on that. I'm going to go disarm in the backline. All 3 of those guys are now disarmed, throwing down the shell, trying to keep my Fafnir alive. I'm going to go for this quick transform, and I'm going to look for the Scylla, because I know that she is out of position, so I'm going to land the double stun on him, which is a lot of damage. That forces the Khepri ulti, and now I'm going to W key, and I'm going to tank this tower for my team, so that way they can run right on in here. Khepri does not have his ultimate up. He has already used it on the Scylla, throwing down the bonus damage again. I'm still actually looking towards the Scylla. I'm going to force them to back even more. That is fine. And then I can jump right on out of here and look to take their speed buff, and then deform safely over by their speed. So, as a Fafnir, you have both peeling and initiating capabilities. A lot of the time, what you're going to end up doing if you're initiating the fight is you're going to be jumping in with your 3 and stunning whatever the priority target is with your 1. Then you're going to be ulting, giving you that immunity, so you can actually go quite aggressive with Fafnir because you get that big immunity frame right after. And then once you're in your dragon form, probably peeling back into your team to keep people alive. So that way you can get both initiation and peel off in the same fight, which is very nice. Throw down my 2 on Fafnir, so I get a little bit of credit for some of those camps that he is clearing. I'm going to get some wards around the fire giant right now, so not directly on it, but I want to get vision around the fire giant. And then the next time that I use my, the next time that I back, I'll make sure that I've got 1,600 gold, so that way I can rank up my Sentinel's Gift. And also get a Sentry Ward. Gonna start heading over to left lane. I can see that my Fenrir is running over there. My Tiamat and Scotty find their way back to the fountain, so now we're just kind of chilling. Want to get that Sentinels ranked up as quick as I can to give out those extra bonus protections for the team. One of the better starter items actually in the entire game right now. It is really rad. It is really rad. All right, they got a lot of people coming this way, so we've got to be careful. I'm going to jump to disarm this Chalk, but I'm really also trying to get out of this fight. We should be backing up. They're going to have a lot of people here. They're going to be coming over probably just for the Pyro. But we do actually need to be careful about that. So I'm just going to sit here. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. If they want the Scorpion, I might try to walk up and slam it with a hammer and steal it. Not quite going to get it. That's all right. I just want to make sure they don't get a free fire giant or nothing while we're waiting for people to get over here. A little bonus damage for Fenrir in case he decides to go on this. Got a little Anchile prog right now. Chalk used a lot to get into that fight. I'm going to throw down the Heavenly Agility. I'm going to disarm right on the Fafnir as he lands. but he uses his ultimate immediately. Oh, what a good body block right there with the Ymir wall. That should be a dead Anner. He shouldn't need me, so I'm gonna try to get to my Fafnir, who actually needs me more. Double stun on the Scylla. That bleed should kill her and prevent her from using abilities. And now I'm gonna try to get in front of my Fafnir, so if anybody comes for him, he'll be able to live through all of this nonsense. And that's a great play from the team. Gonna get a lot of damage out. I'm gonna keep chasing on the Loki because I got this big fat jump. Hit him with the double stun. Give everybody a nice big bonus damage right there. Hitting him in stealth with everything that I got. And we should actually be able to get a Phoenix off of this play at least, because we got all 5 of us up. I'm about to deform in 1 second, so I'm gonna throw down some bonus damage onto my Scotty before I do. That way we kill this Phoenix even faster, and we can actually go for the Titan right now. We've got 10 seconds. We've got 5 people. I'm gonna throw down the bonus damage onto my Tiamat. Tiamat should do more damage to this Titan than my Scotty right now with all of her abilities. And we have got to focus on this Titan. We're spending a lot of time going onto that Loki, and that's going to allow the Scylla to respawn, which is a little bit risky for us, but Fenrir picks her up, and now we should be able to end the game easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that is exactly what you're looking to do on Fafnir. You get in, you do a lot of damage, provide a light of CC, and then immediately start peeling back for your team. For our last items in that game, we obviously would have upgraded into the Sentinels to make sure that we got those aura effects for our team. And then we have a little bit of flex option at the end of the build. You can try to, if you had a Thebes, obviously you would have that build all filled up. So if you want the Thebes early, if you prefer that for the extra tankiness, that is totally fine. You can go a little bit of extra damage for your team, depending on what exactly they need. You get options like Void Stone for Aura Pen, Shoguns for even more attack speed, and then the more traditional items that provide something like percent mitigations, like Spirit Robe. That last item almost always gonna be a little bit more selfish. In terms of like giving yourself percent mitigations or cooldown or something to use more abilities. So I would look into those options, guys. And that is our Fafnir support guide.